to episode 37 with Sirus Migration and Education, where we bring most updated visa and Australian immigration related information every Thursday live to you at 3 p.m. My name is Isuru Yapa. I'm an Australian registered migration agent, and now I've got my lovely wife next to me, is Ashani Yapa. Ashani is also an Australian registered migration agent. So today there's few things that we want to discuss, and we want to give you more opportunities to ask us questions and support, answer and demystify a lot of the cloudy areas that you may have with Australian immigration related queries. So the latest news at the moment is
borders are opening.
Borders are opening, yeah.
What better way to put it?
Yeah. So the Prime Minister has confirmed it a few times, and there's been few notifications, few legislations out there, and we're looking at borders are opening for Australian permanent residents and citizens to return to Australia towards the end of October or early November, followed by the international students and the rest of the migrants. So which is very good news for a lot of people who's waiting out there. And together with this news, or similarly towards this news, we started hearing from South Australia that they're offering the South Australian Offshore Migration Program, which allows a lot of opportunities for clients from clients
from offshore who are willing to migrate. Mario, do you want to go into that clip? Yes. So what you can see on screen here right now are the current occupations that are open for offshore applicants. But there are some stricter requirements. For example, they expect for most occupations for you to have 8 years work experience and proficient or higher English. So which means what you can see from them there is they want someone who's on top of their field. But you can see the occupation list is quite big for offshore applicants, and it is quite varied as well.
70 occupations at the moment.
Yeah, so they have some managers, sales and marketing managers, to human resource advisors, as well as crop farmers and vegetable growers, pig farmers, sheep farmers, to botanists, biochemists, zoologists, veterinarians. So you can see that it's quite a diverse list. And also childcare center manager is there, statistician, survey. So if you're in one of these nominated occupations, if you have 8 years plus work experience and proficient English
plus.
Yes.
So IELTS 7 or above.
Yeah.
So 7.5 is the legislative requirement for this. We have produced a video. Mario has jotted down a link on the top of this video, or I don't know, it's sitting right above our live screen right now. So if you like to learn more about this information, more information about general skill migration program to South Australia for offshore clients, offshore applicants, this is a beautiful opportunity for all of you. See if you can relate yourself to one of these occupations, and you have 8 years plus work experience with proficient plus English. Then you'll be a good candidate to join this program. So it is good to see movement for offshore clients, and requirements coming out, and the opportunities are coming out for offshore clients. Having said that, there's going to be a big priority towards international students to come into Australia and start their courses and also continue. Right now is a very good opportunity for international students to join Australian universities and institutes. Yeah, we can put that.
Yeah, we are already in the process of getting visas for our clients successfully.
Last couple of days we had 3 visas granted
from Sri Lanka, from India. So these kind of, doesn't matter which country you're from. So right now you can lodge a visa. As you can see in the screen, you can get your visa granted, and it has an extended entry date as well. So, and the Prime Minister has kind of confirmed that they will let international students come in. So if you're one of them who's holding a visa, who's got enrollment into an Australian university, so when the borders open, you'll be one of the first to come. And I know that we have thousands of clients or viewers who are interested and who's been waiting for over how long?
Yeah, over I think 2000. The borders closed on March 2020.
So over
about
a year,
15,
easily
16,
over a year.
about 18, somewhere there.
So if that's you, this is definitely your opportunity. Lodge a visa now, get your offer letter, get your confirmation of enrollment right now, and lodge your student visa. We have had our grants in less than 1 month. So by the end of the year, you will have your visa for the borders to open
Rest
to
assured,
come to Australia.
You're set to go. You're set to start your education, your studies next year.
Yeah.
So the February intake. So
get in touch with us.
Don't lose this opportunity. We can. We have already confirmation from TAFE Tasmania that their nursing program's already full till July 2020-22. So don't miss your opportunity. There's a big rush for international students to come to Australia and start their journey.
And that's a good point, Isuru. I think definitely most of these courses, most popular courses, will get filled up for the next year.
Absolutely.
Because all these people waiting would want to get in. So if you're late, you may miss another year and you'll have to wait for 2023.
Exactly. One other good thing is because this is the pandemic time, and with the border closures, universities and institutes introduce really impressive scholarship programs. I will soon bring up some of the scholarships that we have in our possession right now that we can offer to our clients. When you look into those scholarships, these will end soon when the borders open. So don't lose your opportunity to benefit. This is not just couple of $1,000. So if you're in Sri Lanka or India, it's not couple of thousands. Well, talking about lakhs, it's not couple of thousand lakhs. You're talking about couple of million rupees, or tens of thousands of dollars that you're going to be saving through your university degree or master's degree or the study program that Australian institutes do not necessarily offer very often.
Yeah.
And this is a very good opportunity. Currently, some of the highlighted opportunities you have from major universities in Australia that our Sirus Migration can offer at the moment is if you're studying at USQ, they're offering
University of Southern Queensland, which is in Queensland, closer to Brisbane, but also in a regional area. They have 2 campuses.
Yes, Springfield.
Yes.
Springfield as well as Toowoomba. Toowoomba is the main campus. Campus is a very large campus, and also one of the most recognized and campuses who's got most of the engineering disciplines in Australia at the moment. They also have attractive nursing program and other bachelor's degrees. One of the good things about studying in USQ is because it is in a regional area. When if you would ever consider going through a general skill migration program right towards your course, you get extra point for studying in regional area, and you will be getting it from this by studying this naturally. You don't have to do anything else.
And also you get extra graduate visa for living and working in
regional area.
So
yes.
That's a plus
yeah.
point.
So
what's there?
So they're offering 25% off their bachelor's degree or master's degree program throughout the whole degree. So each semester you will be qualified to get 25% off. On top of it, they will be providing you in-campus accommodation for 6 months for all the students enrolling these days. So this is a very rare opportunity. You don't get to live in the campus and also at no cost. It's for 6 months. This is one of the top offers that we can see. And on top of it, they're looking to waive the quarantine program. So if you were to get quarantine in Australia for 2 weeks, hotel quarantine, they will be waiving that quarantine fees as well. You're talking about, let's say, for an average course of average bachelor's program of about $36,000, you're talking a discount of over $12,000 to $15,000, including the accommodation, which is a significant amount of money. And being an international student myself, coming through the system, I think it's a great opportunity for someone to start their career and their pathway right from the beginning. So don't miss out on that. QUT have this magnificent program where they have Queensland University of Technology, where they have Triple Crown, and also 25% program where you require to score 12 credit points through your schooling system or your education system and your age and English, etc. So if you like to learn more about how you can get 25% or 50% scholarship from QUT program, be in touch. We will explain further. But for USQ, anyone enroll right now gets the whole 25% discount throughout the whole program. For Sri Lankan students, Torrens University has offered us a 30% plus discount scholarship throughout the whole program. So 30% out of the normal school fees or the university fees. Torrens already has a very attractive pricing scheme, and from that they'll be looking into taking out further 30% away. That is also a really good, magnificent opportunity for international students to apply. And one of the other good thing about Torrens University is the variety of courses they offer, plus the campus locations. They have multiple locations and multiple campuses throughout Australia. So not only Queensland, not only Melbourne, they have Adelaide campus and other campuses. So would you like to learn more about these scholarships? Be in touch, share the information. If you know anyone who's looking to study, or if you have a relative friend who's looking to study, please share this information, and we can share this
we can offer you the
scholarships
opportunities yes.
Directly to them.
Because I know that our clients and all these people who are offshore, these international students, have been waiting for long enough.
So another attractive visa program that is coming up, we all talk about it, business agri visa, for people who are less educationally qualified but who's got agricultural background. This is getting legislated and getting updated. So we are expecting this to be released towards early December or sometimes in December. This allows low-skill labor related applicants to come and work in Australian farms and agriculture related businesses. Allows people from certain countries such as Malaysia, Philippines, Vietnam, Brunei, Colombia, Indonesia, Laos, Malaysia, Myanmar, Philippines, Singapore, Thailand, and Vietnam. On top of it, that's the extended list. On top of it, this also includes the other Pacific countries like PNG and Fiji, where they already had some sort of agreements before. This extends to workers in dairy farming, cotton and grain harvesting, livestock caring, and fruit pickery, as well as meat processing, fisheries, and forestries. Earlier, this visa was planned for 3 years. As I said, we haven't received the full information packet, but now the authorities are talking about, all the ministers talking about offering a regional settlement for these applicants. Don't have the complete definition for it.
So possible permanent residency for these people at
permanent residency for these applicants. So this is going to be a big hit. If you're from one of those countries, if you have a passport, if you're carrying a passport, regardless of your level of English or your education qualifications, if you have a bit of farming background, this is a very good opportunity for you to join. So if you're looking into any agricultural work-related visas, be in touch with us. We'll get you prepared, so you'll be one of those first people to come into Australia under farming and agricultural visa category that is being introduced. Talking about employees, there's a big gold rush for employees at the moment, not just in metropolitan area but also in regional Australia. For what we experience, a very big rush in 482-186, learning about it, and 408 chefs, IT specialists.
Most of the occupations, actually,
yeah,
you
it's
can't
just
really
wide.
just name
Welders.
few.
It doesn't necessarily have to be motor mechanics, diesel mechanics.
What we find is that most Australian employers who were not thinking about sponsoring international workers before are considering that. I have many clients who are currently offshore, but they are currently working for their Australian employer from their own country, but now the employer is willing to sponsor this person to come and work in Australia because of the labor shortages that everybody is experiencing. So I thought we will talk a little bit about the visa requirements for employee-nominated visa. I won't make it too complicated. We have done many videos covering these. If you're interested, it's all in our website as well as in our YouTube channel. You can go and have a look. But we will briefly touch base before we move on to answering some questions. So if you take Subclass 186, which is the most kind of beneficial visa for an applicant, because it is, applicant is the employee, because it is Australian permanent residency. And you can include your family members in the visa. And once you get the visa, there are not really any conditions attached to it. You become an Australian permanent resident, but you are expected to work for your employer for 2 years. So that's once you get the visa. How do you qualify for this visa? So the main requirement is you have to be under 45. This is the main applicant. The other applicants doesn't have to have anything other than English. Even if they don't have English, they can pay the second application fee. They don't need to qualify for anything else, just have to pass the character and health examination. All the requirements are for the main applicant only. So the main applicant has to be under 45 years age. Obviously, they need to have an employer who's settled in Australia running a business or starting a business in Australia who's willing to sponsor you. Sometimes people get ask us what sponsoring means, which means they have to give you a job at a certain pay. It has to be a full-time permanent job for a certain amount of time, for example 2 years, and they need to keep paying you to sponsor you. So that's what sponsorship means, pretty much a job with a contract. So that is from the employer's side. But the employee's side, you need to have 3 years work experience after qualification for Subclass 186, and you need to have a skills assessment. You need to have competent, which is IELTS 6 equivalent in English, and you need to have the relevant qualification. For example, I saw a question earlier, for a chef it's a certificate 4 qualification,
or at least 3 years work experience plus 3 years, so altogether 6 years work experience,
which means work experience can cover your qualification. So even if you don't have a qualification, when you try to get your skill assessment, if you have certain amount of work experience, that can replace the qualification. So if you believe you're eligible for 186, if you're currently working or if you want to apply for jobs in Australia, you can do that. And if you get this visa, you get Australian permanent residency. And to add to that, there is a list called PMSOL currently in Australia, which is the Priority Migration Skill Occupation list. So if your occupation is in the list that is on the screen right now, you can get the visa processed in a priority manner, which means your visa will be given priority to the other 186 visas where they don't have their occupation in this list, which is a really good news for a lot of our applicants. So look into this list, look into the requirements that we mentioned, look into our other videos of 186. If you believe you're eligible, get in touch with the migration agent, because this is a great visa, and I know that many employers are now willing to go that path that they were not even considering earlier.
So I won't go too much into detail about 188 business visa today. We have produced many videos. We've done a 188 business innovation visa, which explains in detail how the business visa program works for people who's got business visa talents, who has already operated a business. And I'm producing a 188B investor stream video today, which will be released next week. Stay in tune. So this is also a good opportunity. If you haven't subscribed to our channel and hit that bell button, do it now, so as soon as we release them, you'll be the first one to see them. And if you in Facebook, if you haven't liked our page, like it right now, so you will get to know about it. So that's the business visa. There's really good opportunities if you've got business and investment opportunity experience. You not necessarily have to have a lot of education behind you or English behind you. You'll be assessed on your business skills or investment skills and your net assets and capacities. Global Talent Independent also just quickly is going really well. If you're well talented, if you're working in any of these target sectors, and if you got a skill in a prominent skill in any of these categories, you have a good opportunity to apply for expedited permanent residency pathway through Global Talent Independent. Again, we have produced many videos about it. Check the latest, you'll get to know all about it. And if you have any queries, be in touch. GTI allows you. GTI is not necessarily again looking at your English skills or specific education level. They're looking at your talents in a certain area. So they don't really necessarily look into your bachelor's degree or master's degree or PhD, even though it is one of the pathways. This visa can get you permanent residency to yourself and your family really quickly. Today we would like to spend the rest of the time answering your question. If you have any questions about Australian migration related questions, please type down below in the question section, so we will answer as many as possible. We're not using computers regularly or the databases regularly, so we might not be able to give something we didn't cover up. We didn't talk about Queensland. Mr. Robin, thank you very much for reminding me from Facebook. So it is a good topic. It's like the borders opening, but it is coming up very soon. We are expecting the Queensland borders to be open very quickly. So
borders or migration program? Both.
Both. Queensland border has been shut for a long time now for a lot of people. So we're looking to see our friends that we haven't seen for a long time soon. But migration program as well, BSMQ or the Migration Queensland was supposed to open in September. Unfortunately, due to certain unforeseen circumstances that Migration Queensland might have faced, they couldn't open it. We are looking forward to seeing the migration program to come out, but I'm pretty sure that Queensland Migration will give a great migration program coming up. They're the first ones to introduce 491 small business owner category, and it is still one of the best migration programs that we have in Australia, where it gives opportunities for applicants if they have 50 points by themselves and they have full-time work rights, and currently full-time work rights to get to a permanent residency pathway by buying a business at $100,000 in regional Queensland.
Yeah, when it comes to Queensland, I also want to mention that I know most of my clients, their visas were expiring because we were hoping that the borders will open in July, then in September, now in October. But if your visa is expiring in October or in the next couple of months, please do look for other options as well. Either it's a 408, 407, 482, whichever the option. I don't think you should just rely on Queensland and not do anything if your visa is expiring soon. Even Queensland Migration has mentioned that if your visas are expiring, look into other options. Don't just rely on the program to be open. Obviously, at the end, it's your visa. If it expires, you can't really blame it on Queensland or the migration agent or anyone else. So please take action if your visa is expiring in the near future.
What you're applying for as soon as the program opens is an expression of interest. Expression of interest is not a solid visa or a substantial visa.
It's not a visa at all.
So it does not allow you a bridging visa to stay in. So you need to carry another visa to stay in. So even though we get to talk to a lot of clients where their visa expires in November. So if you're applying in November, if your visa is expiring in November, it is time for you to plan your pathway for a further visa than relying on the expression of interest. It is very, very risky in migration terms. So let's take up the Facebook questions quickly. This is a good question that, sorry, I don't know what your name is. The question is about the diploma or certificate.
I'll read the question. Hello, do I need diploma certificate or just cookery certificate 4 is fine to apply for 186 direct entry after 3 years of work experience?
So
after
the
certificate 4.
Answer is for you to be considered as a chef, then you need to have certificate 4 in commercial cookery.
Yeah.
And for 186 program, you need to have your qualification work experience after the qualification in full-time basis, 3 years out of last 5 years.
So from what you're telling me, I believe you're eligible. If you have 3 years work experience after certificate 4, then you're eligible to go for subclass 186.
If you like some support,
be
in touch and we'll help you further in this.
I've got MJ Veladi. I would like to know if I'm qualified to apply for either permanent residency visa or any visa offshore in any state in Australia. I completed Bachelor of Hospitality and Management, 4 years in the Philippines, proficient English, with 7 years experience as bartender plus another 9 years as bar and restaurant manager with the same company in cruise line based in Italy. Still employed with the same company, and I'm 41 years old.
Very good. You sounds like you have few programs, not necessarily the general skill migration. You also have employee nominated programs available as well. Especially there's a big demand for restaurant managers in far north Queensland and NT, WA. So the first thing would be if you could start look for an employer who's willing to sponsor you. That'll be a much better option for you. So be in touch again. Send us your CV, send us an CV, or set up an appointment with us. But the most important part for you is is to look for an employment and keep applying for job opportunities. Before we go into YouTube, there's another question from Santosh Raksha. Can you tell me about 494 visa as a cook can get PR or not? 494 is for regional. Obviously, there are short-term skill occupation list. It depends on which states, right?
No, 494 it doesn't matter if it's regional. I'm just gonna check.
And
just won't take long. I believe it is because cook should be in ROL. Yes, 494 you are eligible because cook is in a list called regional occupation list, which gives you the eligibility.
Hope that answered your question, Santosh. If you like to learn more about this or the permanent pathway from 494, give us a bell or send us an email, and we'll set up a one-on-one personal consultation with you. Samira Kularatna, hi to you too. Nirman Fernando, I'm in Sri Lanka for...
Okay, Nirman wants to know if he's from Sri Lanka, if he wants to get more information, whether he should contact a local agent in Sri Lanka or a onshore agent. I think that's a really good question.
Yeah, you can... if you'd like to talk to us, you can talk to one of our Sri Lankan offices. Currently we have Vennapu office as well as Colombo office. We have two other offices opening in Kiribati and Piliyandala shortly. But for migration consultations, you'll have to, it'll be quicker for you to contact, send us your migration related question to admin@sirus.com.au or any of these contact details that you can see on the screen right now. That way we will be in touch with you and set up an appointment with either one of us or one of our other migration agents, whoever you would like to have the consultation with us with.
Sanju saying, will they process 190 now? Been waiting since July 2020. Accounting, stuck offshore. So I believe you studied here, applied for 190 and went offshore. Hopefully if you have already lodged your visa, I think it will be in the process. And 190 again is permanent residency. If it is granted when you're offshore, you can come to Australia.
Accountants are priority listed for work visas.
So Preet is saying, after BSc nursing from Australia, RN, we got directly without any exam. I'm sorry, the question is not very clear. If you could please retype the question, that will be really good.
So bachelor's of, once you complete the bachelor's of nursing, you have to apply for registration through AFRA. So until you get the registration, you won't be qualified to become a registered nurse.
But again, you don't have to sit for any exams other than English.
Yes.
No other nursing exams are necessary if you have completed a bachelor's from Australia, if that's what the question means. Dobhan saying it's going to be 2 years waiting for borders to open.
Not really.
As you know that borders are currently opening and a lot of people can apply unless you're a skilled migrant. You still 100% cannot, but if you're a student, then yes.
Rasika Patirana, tell me about the Masters of Teaching Secondary. I'm from Sri Lanka, specialist scholarships offering universities. Yeah, there are quite a few universities. Again, Rasika, going
Maybe send
into,
us an email
yeah,
to
so
admin@sirus.com.au, Rasika. We can help you obtain a scholarship as well as get you an offer letter and apply for your student visa.
So we can do maybe a Zoom consultation with you directly, so that'll be easier for you to learn more about the full background. So send us an email to admin@sirus.com.au, or you can talk to the education team directly through education@sirus.com.au. So they will go through what's your eligibility for the master's program, what's your bachelor's like, and what's your English level like, and what's your financial eligibility as well. And they will find the best university for you in the right state as well.
I've got Sarwan asking, will borders open for new students from South Asian countries, such as from Pakistan, for February or July 2022, intake at South Australian universities? I think you can start your process now, as we've been saying. So get in touch with us. We should again be able to find your university, get you the enrollment and the student visa sorted, so you can come in whenever the borders open, either February or July next year.
𝗥𝗘𝗣𝗢𝗢, when the tourism visa is going to be started? So I think you're talking about Subclass 600 visitor visa. Visitor visas are, you can apply now. Some people get the visa approved, but the only thing, we don't know when it'll be open for people to travel. So because 190 visa, Subclass 600 visa has in general has a 1 year expiry date, until you get to really find out which day that will be they'll be opening. I think visitor visa clients, unless it's not really
unless
necessary,
you're an immediate family member of an Australian, or you're traveling for business purposes that is in high priority list, I think it's better to wait. But depends on your situation. So get in touch with the migration agent and find out if you're eligible to get a student visa granted now.
Yeah.
I've got Rafsan saying, can you tell us about the latest point cutoff for 491 and 190 in South Australia? Rafsan, it really depends on your occupation. South Australia is a bit different. For each occupation, they have very clearly mentioned what is the expected points. So you can refer to that, and if you give us more information, we can look into it and tell you exactly if your points are enough.
𝗪𝗠𝗠 Rajapaksa, hi, thank you for providing as much as needed, updated weekly. Thank you very much, 𝗪𝗠𝗠.
I've got Kasun Rangana asking, is Sinopharm China vaccine will be accepted in future?
So Sinopharm TGA at the moment has recognized, but there is no strict guidelines from Australia right now saying this is acceptable or not. Sinopharm's been acknowledged, but whether there'll be, we know for sure in Australia right now, Pfizer, AstraZeneca and Moderna's been recognized. Sinopharm's been acknowledged, but don't have directions on it in terms of migration and traveling through the borders.
Yeah, I've got Rasika asking, I'm a civil engineer offshore. I have 6 years of experience. If I have skill assessment, how can I find an employer to sponsor me? So maybe you can apply for some jobs through either LinkedIn or some of the job recruitment platforms.
LinkedIn is a good platform, and also you may be able to look for recruiters and boutique recruiters through them as well. There are a lot of recruiters supporting this. So seek.com.au is a popular website in Australia, and also Indeed.com.au. Job Active, you'll get to see what's going on currently, and also most of the 482 applications and applicants and 186 applicants, they definitely go into Job Active, so you can see who's looking for employees. So that's another hint that you may use. So they're the sponsorship categories where you can find an employer.
I've got Abhinav asking, I'm a chef. May I know when is Tasmania going to open for student visas. They are already open. So if you want to study in Tasmania, you can start your process now. You can get enrolled, you can get your COE, and you can apply for student visa and also get it granted. So yeah, don't have to wait any longer. I've got 𝗪𝗠𝗠𝗪𝗧𝗥𝗔𝗡 again saying quantity survey with 90 points. 90 points. Offshore, what do you reckon? Would I get an invitation for 190? So if you have 8+ years and proficient English, as we said earlier, you're eligible to lodge an not an expression of interest. Register your interest to South Australia right now. So get in touch with a migration agent, 𝗪𝗠𝗠.
So 90 is a good competitive
point as well.
But remember, there's a lot of people competing for 190 in South Australia as well. So the quantity surveyor, also remember that
it's one of the 70 occupations as well. Yeah. I've got Martin asking, I have a sponsorship in Canberra and my application was submitted 2nd April and would like to know how long will it take to be granted. Can't really comment too much on it. Normally 6 to 8 months is what it takes. Can you go up a little bit, Mario? Can't see. Just move the screen up the other way.
Preet after...
Preet saying, after GSM from India, how many credits... or GNM from India, how many credits we get for BSc nursing? That's GNM.
BSc nursing normally capped at 36 credit points or 1 year. So majority of the applicants have to go through at least 2 years in studies in Australia. It depends on which institute as well as what work experience they have. Normally it's 2 years more in Australia.
I've got a question in Facebook. We know this asking, is India open for invitation from South Australia? I submit ROI last month. Some of my friends got invited from UK and Singapore. I have 80 points in trade occupations. So in South Australia, when they said they are open to offshore, they didn't specify any countries. So you could be anywhere in the world to get that invitation from South Australia. So it doesn't matter which country you're from. Who's next?
Rohit Sharma. Good morning. I'm applying for 482 visa as chef and my medical's
done and fulfill all documents. Please tell me when I get my visa. I'm offshore. Why don't you get in touch with your migration agent and get them to follow up with the department? If you have done everything and chef is in the priority list, you should get your visa
within 3 months or so
soon.
Normally.
Rasika.
So Rasika, Proficient Plus means IELTS 7.5, yes. So legislatively it's 7.5, not
7.5, yeah, because it's Proficient Plus and Proficient is 7.
Okay, I think
I think that's it for
today. For the day. So we'll wrap it up there. If there's anything else, we can any updates for Tasmania from Devinder. So right now it's still the same program and there's no big difference or big changes in Tasmania. We were about to wrap it up and we got a few questions. We'll go up till
few more
Dixon
questions,
and then we'll wrap it up. So Tasmania, we don't have much new updates. It's the same stories, but Tasmania also have the offshore opportunity, but you need to be quite competitive.
Okay, Martin's asking a really good question. Does the nomination process time and the 482 visa take the same time? Or is the nomination time and 482 visa separate? So Martin, what happens, sometimes we lodge the nomination and visa application together in some scenarios. And when we lodge, what I have seen from my experience, once we lodge a decision-ready visa application together with the nomination, we most likely get the visa couple of minutes after getting the nomination approved, which means the case officer looks at both of them together. But if you lodge the nomination first and then wait for the nomination approval and then lodge the visa application, again it can take some extra time. I hope this answers your question. I've got 𝗥𝗣𝗢𝗡𝗞𝗟𝗧𝗥𝗔𝗡 asking, I have done BCom and MCom, Masters of Commerce. But study gap, how much gap is acceptable for further study? What are the requirements for PR in Sydney? I have 4 years work experience.
So it depends if you're in the same, if you've been working in the same field as your study, then the study gap is not a big issue. Whereas if you study Masters of Commerce and then worked as IT specialist, then it might matter. But then again, you can proceed for a master's degree or a bachelor's degree in that work experience. So the education gap can be filled by your work experience and what you're currently studying as well. Hope that answers to 𝗥𝗣𝗢𝗡𝗞𝗟𝗧𝗥𝗔𝗡. And if you'd like to learn more, please be in touch and we'll give you a personalized advice onto your circumstances as well. Dixon, thank you. Thanks very much again.
And Martin's saying thank you, and thank you for listening to us, and thank you for subscribing to our channel and liking our Facebook.
So the
if you haven't done that so far.
Martin's nomination and application was done at the same time. So normally when your nomination application and nominations been granted, they go straight into application as well. There are times that we get to see the nomination get approved and right next half an hour later,
few minutes later. And so also, Martin, make sure if you haven't done your police clearances and health examinations, do them. That makes your application decision ready. So when the nomination is approved, case officer doesn't have to come back to you to ask for these additional things. He or she can just grant the visa.
Yes.
Yeah.
Alright, that concludes our 37th episode of Live with Sirus Migration on Thursday at 3 o'clock. Thank you very much for being with us, and hope we were helpful and we shared some of our knowledge with you. And support us by subscribing and hitting the subscribe button and the bell button, or if you're in Facebook, hit that thumbs up button. And that will also help you by getting the latest Australian immigration updates and visa information every week. And also you'll get to see all the latest videos that we do on migration updates. Until then, take care.
Stay safe, and our thoughts are for people who are in Melbourne, hopefully, and other parts of the world as well where COVID's doing quite badly.
And
Hope
Sydney.
you all survive and we all come back on the other side of this stronger.
God bless you all. Thank you. Bye-bye.